Hi, second graders. I want to talk to you some more about your bug report, but before I do that, I need you to make sure that you've already listened to Mrs. B's reading video for today. So if you have not listened to Mrs. B yet, stop this video and go listen to hers first. Then come back to me. Okay? So stop right now and go listen to Mrs. B if you have not done that. If you have done that, then you can stay with me here, and we're going to talk about sources. As you know, you need paper, pencil, markers, crayons, or colored pencils to do your report. You need a folder or a notebook or a big envelope like I have here. But today we're going to talk about something very important, our sources. We need to have at least 2 sources for our report. Mrs. B showed you how to get on Pebble Go, and I'm going to show you something else about Pebble Go today. But first, I want you to answer for me. What does research mean? We are going to research, as you might remember. Let me see if I can find it real quick. This paper, we're going to research habitat, diet, and description, remember? Well, what does research mean? Does it mean reading and studying to find facts? Or does it mean writing down what I already know? What do you think? Reading and studying to find facts, or writing down what I already know? If you said reading and studying to find facts, you get a big, huge, smiley face. Very good. That's what research means. If you said writing down what I already know, wrong. That is not research. After you research and you read a book or an article in a magazine or something online or one of my little flashcards, after you read that and you write down what you know from that source, then that's research. But writing down what's already in your head about your insect is not research. So we're not going to do that. When I did my report about the morning cloak butterfly, I really didn't know very much about them, but I could have made stuff up that might have even sounded smart. But did I do that? No, I looked it up and I read about it. And then I wrote my notes, and then I wrote my sentences. So that's what you're going to do too. Today, I want to show you a way that Mrs. B might have shown you. I can't remember. I think she did on Pebble Go, but we have to figure out your 2 sources today. That's going to be your assignment. So once you get on Pebble Go, then you click on insects, and let's say you decide to do crickets. Okay, so here's your information about the body description. Here's habitat, and remember, you can listen to it.
Found all
Let
over
them
the
read
world.
to you.
They are.
Here's your information about food, or diet is what we are calling it. And then remember this purple tab that you can click on that has some books. So if you're doing crickets, I probably wouldn't read the one called grasshoppers, but you can click on crickets, the book Crickets, and you can play the book. Now I had trouble getting the book to play. Let's see if this one does it. All right. I had to click on the page to get it to go, and then the arrow.
Crickets by Nikki Bruno Clapper.
Now what I found was it doesn't want to read all this to you, but that's the table of contents, and that's not really important for them to read it to you, but you could read it yourself. Then I clicked, maybe not.
Noise in the
There we go.
night. Loud chirping sounds fill the summer night. Thousands of crickets are calling for mates.
Okay, that's where we'll
Noise
stop.
in the night.
Maybe. But I just want you to know that you can click on that purple tab to find a book about your insect. Let me go back and see what they have on. Maybe somebody wants to do ladybugs. So there's your body, habitat, food. Then there's some books. Do all bugs have wings? And one called Ladybugs. You could read both of them or listen to both of them, whichever way you want to do it. So those can be your sources. So now, today for your assignment, you are going to get a piece of paper. You're going to write my 2 sources. And then you're going to write 1, 2. Maybe you're going to do, well, everyone should do Pebble Go for one of their sources. And then their second one could be Pebble Go book. And I wrote the name of a book that if I chose cicadas, that would be the name of the book. All right? Remember, if you chose ladybugs, the name of your book is Do All Bugs Have Wings? Or maybe you want to read ladybugs. Or maybe you want to read both. So you could have 3 sources. And that's even better than 2. You'll have more information. Okay, so those could be your 2 sources, Pebble Go and then Pebble Go book, one of the books. Or maybe your sources are going to be Pebble Go and Mrs. Cagney's flashcard. But do not write Mrs. Cagney's flashcard until you have asked me if I have a flashcard for you, because I don't have every single insect in my flashcards. If you want to ask me, if you're in my class, then you can just ask me on Seesaw. If you're not in my class, you can text me, and there's my number. So you can text me and say, do you have ladybugs? Do you have a ladybug flashcard? And if I do, then that can be one of your sources. Okay? But you have to ask first. Don't just assume that I have it. I might not. Or maybe your 2 sources are going to be Pebble Go and Mrs. Cagney's book, Bugs. So remember, I showed you that I bought this book, and there are quite a few insects in it. Butterfly, gnat, hornet, ant. There's quite a few. I'm not going to go through the whole book. But you can ask me, again, by text if you're not in my class. If you're in my class, just message me on Seesaw and say, is my insect in your book Bugs? And if it is, then I can send you a picture of it, of the page, and you can write that for one of your sources. Okay? Or maybe your 2 sources will be Pebble Go and an online source. I found one about morning cloak butterfly, and it was called Wildlife Journal Junior. So you have to just write 2 sources, okay? I'm just giving you some ideas of what your paper might look like. You're not going to write all of this. You're going to write the 2 sources that you have chosen. Remember, if you want to use one of my flashcards or something from my book, you have to first text and ask me if I have your insect. Okay? All right. So Mrs. B gave you the assignment of making your title page. Similar to the way I did it, you're going to write the name of your insect, do a drawing, and then your name. And I colored that in. Remember, I left it white before. Oops. And for me, you're going to write down your 2 sources, Pebble Go should be your first source for sure. All right, because you can get your information about the body description, habitat, and food right on Pebble Go. All right, have a great day.